Oh, I missed it. I missed
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a Yeti today too. Did you get a Yeti? No. You came at night. Bought some Yetis for trustees and for staff. I'll have to reorder some.
I missed it.
Yeah, you were a little late.
Story of my life.
Yeah, you. Give it a few minutes.
When you did this for me when I was sick, it worked great.
Good. We, yeah, I guess for board meetings, there's sometimes, usually at least one trustee or someone who zooms in, yeah. It's nice.
Dr. Arnfield does sometimes. too.
Yeah, she did last meeting, yeah.
There's Mary.
Hey, Fran.
Hey, Mary.
Oh, are we all on?
I think we are.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody.
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
Not too bad. I go tomorrow for a procedure, so hopefully that will help.
Okay. Good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
It is now 3:32, so let me go ahead and call this meeting of the Other Post-Employment Benefits Trustees Committee to order. Dawn, would you like to call roll?
Sure.
Sorry.
Mark Mathers,
Here.
Jeffrey Kirst,
Here,
Fran McGregor,
Here.
Mary Lamont,
Here.
all here.
Okay, very good. Let's turn to agenda item 2. I'm going to go ahead and ask for whether there is any public comment at this time. Seeing none, we will move on to item 2.01, which is approval of the minutes for the OPEB committee for November 2nd of 2022. Did anybody have any changes or corrections to those minutes?
Oh,
no,
Okay, seeing none, then I'll take a motion to approve the minutes of November 2nd, 2022.
Fran McGregor. I move that we approve the minutes from the November 2nd, 2022 meeting.
And do I have a
Mary,
second?
Mary Lamont, I second that.
Very good. All those in favor say aye. Aye? Opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, seeing none, the motion passes unanimously. Next up is agenda item 2.02, which is presentation and discussion of the first and second quarter financial statements. This is for presentation and discussion only. And here to walk us through those statements is our Assistant Controller, Mindy Capron. Mindy, take her away.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. I know we didn't present the first quarter previously, but we're going to skip ahead to the second quarter, which does include, obviously, the first quarter as well. So December, through the end of December, we had cash of $3,814,000. The RBIF participation units, you can see there, it says 73,184,000. We've included a page that's a change to the RBIF account, which is a couple pages behind this one. So you'll see the change in the net assets for that account itself was 881,000 increase for the RBIF, and that's not as good as it was last year on a year-to-date basis, but as everybody probably knows, the market hasn't been doing very well, so the realized gain and loss it's a loss this year as opposed to a gain last year. And then our unrealized appreciation is a lot less in 22 December through December than it was last year. So that's that page. And then I'll point out on the statement of revenues and expenditures page for December 31st, 2022, we had revenues of 1.891 million. And we have expenditures of 510,000. So the change in our position was 1,380,872. Again, the earnings and the realized loss is causing us to be different than we were last year. Also, our unrealized gain is less in our budget than we had, is less than what we had in our budget for the for that line. So that's why we're behind on revenues, basically, is those areas. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about that, but that's it in a nutshell.
So as we'll talk about in the next item, which will go over investment returns, as you're saying, Minnie, it's fairly flat, at least it is positive. And so you're again, going over revenues here then, contributions by the district into the fund, a little bit more than $1 million, so we're tracking to budget there halfway through the fiscal year, and we've made half of our budgeted contributions, and then we have net investment income overall of 881,000. Nothing to write home about, but again, at least it's positive.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Any questions of the group on kind of financial activity through the first half? And if you had any questions, you wanted Minnie to go through the September quarter, we can do that. Looks like we have rebounded from where we were in September, so that's good news. Mary or Fran, any questions?
And for me, they're Mary Lamont.
Okay, Mr. Kirst?
No questions.
Okay, again, that was just for presentation and discussion, and as is the next agenda item 2.03. So this is a report we get from Nevada PERS staff. And as you remember, PERS manages the Retirement Benefits Investment Fund for OPEB entities across the state. So on page 2, they provide investment returns, again, through the first half of fiscal year 23 in that first column. So you can see U.S. stocks had a net return of 2.4%. Non-U.S. stocks actually outperformed U.S. stocks for the first time that I can remember in a long time. They had a return of 5.6%, and then bonds had a negative return. That's because the Fed continues to raise interest rates. So although those bonds are generating coupon payments to us, the market value of those securities, those fixed income securities, have declined. As interest rates rise, any existing bonds will show a loss. So that's why you see that minus 3.9%. So overall, the net return for the entire RBIF portfolio was a meager 1.2%. Again, nothing to write home about, but at least it is positive. We saw a rebound in the second quarter of the fiscal year versus the first quarter of the fiscal year. You can see in the bottom left, those are actual asset allocations. So again, the portfolio asset allocation here is 50% U.S. stocks, international stocks, 23% or so, and then bonds 26%. So they're close to their target asset allocations, not quite right at the asset allocation. And then page 3, I know this is kind of a busy chart, but this is a comparison of the portfolio returns against peer agencies, other mid-sized public funds. For fiscal year 2020, fiscal year to date, it says 2022, it really should be 2023. Hopefully that's just a typo. We're tracking close to the median, a little bit above the median, it looks like. And then you can see historically, performance has been better, top quartile, compared to these other public funds that are included in this benchmark group. And then on page 4, this provides the return and standard deviation or measure of risk for the portfolio. And so actually can see the RBIF fund being less diversified has greater risk. The standard deviation is above 10 for this period ended, for the 10 years ending December 31st, versus the RBIF total fund has a slightly lower standard deviation. Again, that's because the RBIF fund statutorily can be invested in fewer asset classes than the overall PERS portfolio. And then you can see the return of the RBIF fund accordingly is actually lower than PERS as well. Again, just based on the fact that we can't be in private equity and in some other asset classes that the PERS fund can. So more risk, a slightly lower return, but that's just, again, based on the statutory constraints that this fund is operated under. So I know that was pretty dry and technical. Any questions on the performance that you'd like to raise or talk about?
Jeff Kirst, one question. Are numbers given with the duration of the bonds in the bond portfolio? With that mix, do they ever give that to us?
Not regularly. I can ask for it. It's a really good question. I don't know what the benchmark is, if it's a 1 to 5 kind of benchmark. I'll get that for you. Good question.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? Okay, seeing none, that was just for presentation and discussion. I will go now into section 3 of the agenda. I'll take any public comment. Seeing none online. Receiving no public comments, right, Don? In written fashion. I'll move on to the announcement of our next meeting, and that is May 25th of 2023. It's right before Memorial Day. Does anyone have issues with that date? Does that look like a date that you can make, as far as you know at this point? Mary, Fran? Does it look okay? May 25th?
This is Fran, I can make it.
Okay. Mary? Is that
Yeah,
what-
I can make it also. I have it in my calendar.
Okay. I just wanted to cover some future dates for the OPEB committee as well. I'll go ahead and do that, Don. So we have scheduled later in 2023 meeting dates of August 24th, then November 27th, which is, I think, Thanksgiving week. For some reason,
Wait a minute.
we always do that.
August 24th.
August 24th, and then November 27th. Do those dates look okay to you, Mary, Fran, Jeff?
Yes.
Jeff saying yes. The others are checking their calendars.
November 27th, you said?
Yes, Monday.
For Monday?
Monday,
Okay,
yes.
That's good.
Okay.
Fran, she did for me also.
Okay. And then in 2024, if your calendars go that far out, we've scheduled Thursday, February 22nd, 2024, And then Thursday, May 23rd, 2024. I know it's hard to say whether you're available on dates that far out, but that's what we've scheduled. If you knew for a fact those dates didn't work, then we could kind of identify other dates.
3:30?
Looks-
Yes,
Looks good so far for Mary Lamont.
okay. Yeah, all of
Same
these
thing
would
for
be,
Fran.
okay, great. All of these would have a start time at 3:30.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. With that, we will adjourn the meeting. Thank you all. Thanks for zooming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.